The bright sunshine of the late afternoon here on the West Coast. It is 6 p.m. in Los Angeles, and the crowd still arriving here at the Forum, where we are getting ready for Game 1 of the 1988 NBA Finals. An old face and a new face come together. Last year's champions, the Los Angeles Lakers, host the upstart winners of the Eastern Conference, the Detroit Pistons. Well, good evening, everybody, and welcome. I'm Brent Musburger. I guess I'm a lot like a whole lot of folks out there. I'm not sure what to expect in this one either. We do have a couple of distinct storylines. Let's start with the Lakers. Without a doubt, they are the team of the 80s. They have won 4 NBA championships. The drive for 5, only 4 victories away, and there is another goal for this team. If they win this one, they will become the first squad since the Celtics back in '68 and '69 to win back-to-back NBA championships. Their coach, Pat Riley, did a very unusual thing after winning it a year ago. He guaranteed a triumph this time.
I'm guaranteeing everybody here, next year we're going to win it again.
And I made a statement to get everybody's attention, to let them know what we were playing for this year. And we weren't playing for another championship, and we're not playing for rings or money. I'm not coaching for that. And I don't think our players are either. They really want to be considered the greatest team ever, and they have that opportunity.
So the goal is very clear and distinct for the Lakers. I think the issue with the Pistons is one of emotion. Did they achieve their goal by beating Boston? Can they climb back emotionally and capture that spirit against the Lakers? I was really struck by one moment late in Game 6 in the Silverdome, and that's when Kevin McHale of the Celtics told Isiah Thomas to play tough in the final. No one knows it better than the Pistons coach, Chuck Daly.
We had the worst practice we've had in the playoffs yesterday. We couldn't catch the ball, but I'm glad we got back in the water. And probably the best thing about the whole situation is you're playing a team that can flat out embarrass you if you don't come to play. And that's my message to them.
Another thing about the Lakers, they can be lethal here in the Forum. And for the Pistons, stealing Game 1 might be their best chance in the first 2. Of course, you never know about things like that. Let's find out more now. Let's go down to the floor to the gentleman who'll call the action for you, Dick Stockton and Billy Cunningham. Dick.
All right, Brent, you're right. There's a definite unknown factor in this series. It's true that these teams play twice a year, and this year the Lakers won both. They were close games, but that was back in January and February, ages ago. The fact is these teams really don't know that much about each other, and as a result, I wouldn't be surprised if you see some strange matchups even early on, a lot of switches, and really a chess game that we haven't seen in many years in this championship finals between the two coaches. Billy Cunningham, I'd like to know your views about this series overall, and in particular this first game.
Well, I think in the first game, Dick, what we're going to see is going to be like a heavyweight championship fight. Both teams are going to feel their way around with each other. But what we're going to see tonight is that we know the Lakers are committed to the fast break game. We have not seen Detroit run at all so far in the series. What we'll see tonight, though, is a Detroit team trying to run with the Lakers. And in this playoff series, there's several other points that we'd like to take a look at. The Detroit Pistons face a major problem this series, and that is, how do they stop Magic Johnson? That burden will fall on the shoulders of their defensive specialist, Joe Dumars. Another key will be the play of the small forwards, James Worthy and Adrian Dantley. Will Worthy's speed be hampered by a bad knee? Can the Lakers contain the strong inside game of Dantley? Defensively, both coaches have options to go to with their bench. For the Lakers, Michael Cooper is so valuable because he can wind up guarding Dantley, Isiah Thomas, or Vinnie Johnson. And for Detroit, a second-year man, Dennis Rodman, can find himself guarding Worthy, Magic, or A.C. Green.
All right, let's bring that home court story, Billy, out of the mothballs again. And the fact is, other than a game loss to Utah in the semifinals, the Lakers have been virtually impeccable here at the Forum, as Brent points out. The Pistons had to beat the Celtics twice in Boston Garden. That was no mean feat. They'll have to win at least once at the Forum if they're going to win the championship. Back to you, Brent.
70% of the winners of Game 1 have gone on to win the championship. Let's meet the starting lineups. Let's go down to Lawrence Tanner.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Forum in Inglewood, California, for Game 1 of the 1988 NBA Finals between the Detroit Pistons and the defending world champion Los Angeles Lakers. And now for the starting lineups. First for the Eastern Conference champion, Detroit Pistons. At forward, in his 12th year out of Notre Dame, at 6'5", number 45, Adrian Dantley. At forward, in his 8th campaign out of Hampton Institute, at 6'10", number 44, Rick Mahorn. At center, in his 8th season out of Notre Dame, at 6'11", number 40, Bill Laimbeer. At guard, in his 3rd year out of McNeese State, at 6'3", number 4, Joe Dumars. And at guard, in his 7th year out of Indiana University, number 11, and 6'1", Isiah Thomas. The head coach for the Detroit Pistons, Chuck Daly. And now for the Western Conference champion, Los Angeles Lakers. At guard, in his 9th year out of Michigan State, at 6'9", number 32, Irvin Magic Johnson. At guard, in his 5th year out of Arizona State, at 6'4", number 4, Byron Scott. At forward, in his 3rd campaign out of Oregon State, at 6'9", number 45, A.C. Green. At forward, in his 6th year out of North Carolina, at 6'9", number 42, James Worthy. And at center, in his 19th year out of UCLA, at 7'2", number 33, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. And the head coach for the Los Angeles Lakers, Pat Riley.
So here's the scene at the Forum, getting ready for Game 1 of this 1988 NBA Finals. The Detroit Pistons and the Los Angeles Lakers, who try to repeat for the first time in 19 years. The officials working tonight's first game, Darryl Garrettson. His partner will be Joe Crawford. And the alternate is Jess Kersey. Pistons have been a good road team, Billy Cunningham. They have won 4 of their last 5, including those 2 wins I referred to at Boston Garden and 2 wins in Chicago.
And their first win, they won the first game against the Celtics in the Boston Garden, but they'll really be in for a lot here against the Lakers. The interesting point is, will their transition game be as effective as Chuck Daly hopes?
I'm anxious to see what the opening matchups are. And of course, with the benches being a big factor as well, the Pistons were impressive going 4 deep against the Celtics. But the Lakers have been here. They know what it takes to win, and they had to survive 2 grueling 7-game series, beating Utah and Dallas. They've endured the hardship to get to this point, and an imposing home record in the playoffs. Laimbeer and Kareem jumping center, controlled by L.A. Dumars will be on Magic Johnson, no surprise there, and Isiah is on Scott. Mahorn is on Worthy. Dantley will be on A.C. Green, and the 2 centers match up as well. Illegal defense called against the Pistons. That's the warning. The next time, that'll be a technical foul against Chuck Daly and his crew.
Well, starting the ball game, we're seeing Detroit playing straight up against Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, not looking for the double team.